Hello and welcome back to English Academy. Today we're going to slow down, get comfortable, and talk about how to sound more professional in English at work.
If you've ever finished a meeting and thought, wow, my English sounded so basic, or I sounded like a student, not like a real colleague, then this episode is for you.
We're not going to throw big business words at you. No hereby, no aforementioned, no pursuant to our conversation. Instead, we'll show you small, realistic changes you can make with simple English.
We'll talk about how you sound in meetings and calls, how you write in emails and chat, and how you think about yourself when you speak English.
And while you listen, try to imagine your own real situations, your team meetings, your boss, your clients, your inbox. Think, where can I use this sentence? With which person?
You can even pause this episode sometimes, write down one phrase, and imagine yourself using it in your next meeting or email.
All right, let's start with the place where most people feel the pressure, meetings.
Let me be honest. In English-speaking meetings, I used to have two modes, silent mode and panic mode.
Silent mode?
Yeah, silent mode is when I mute my microphone, turn off my camera, and just listen because I don't feel brave enough to say anything.
And panic mode?
Panic mode is when suddenly someone says, "Daniel, what do you think?" And inside my head, there's a small fire. All my vocabulary disappears, and I answer with something like, I think is good. We can maybe yes.
I think many listeners know that moment. The good news is we can prepare some language in advance, so your brain has something ready to use.
Yes, let's do that, please.
Let's start with the very beginning of a meeting, joining the call or walking into the room. Those first 10 seconds already send a message.
I usually say, "Hi, I'm here," which is not very impressive.
It's not terrible, but it's a bit weak. We want a sentence that is still simple but sounds complete and confident.
Okay, what does that look like?
For example, "Hi everyone, this is Daniel from the marketing team."
Hi everyone, this is Daniel from the marketing team. Yeah, that already sounds more like I belong in the meeting.
If you join a few minutes late, you don't need a long, dramatic story. Just say, "Hi everyone, sorry I'm a bit late. This is Daniel."
Short apology, name, done. No need to explain the traffic, the bus, the dog, and the weather.
Exactly. And dear listener, if you often stress about being 1 or 2 minutes late, remember, one short, polite sentence is enough.
Okay, so that's how we enter the meeting. But then comes the small talk, which can feel even more awkward.
Right. At the start of many calls, people ask things like, "How are you? How's your day going? How's the weather over there?"
And many learners answer with the classic, "I'm fine, thank you, and you?" Which is correct, but sounds a little bit like a textbook dialogue.
You can keep the same idea and make it sound more natural and professional with tiny changes.
Give us some options.
Sure. If someone says, "How are you?" you can say, "I'm good, thanks. How are you?" Or, "Doing well, thanks. How about you?"
Doing well, thanks. How about you? That already feels more like something a colleague would say.
If you're busy, you can be honest in a light way. "Pretty busy week, but I'm good. How about you?"
That sounds nice. Not dramatic, but real.
Exactly. Now, let's make this practical. If you're listening right now, try to repeat one of these answers in your head. "I'm good, thanks. How are you?" "Doing well, thanks. How about you?" "Pretty busy week, but I'm good. How about you?"
And next time somebody asks, "How are you?" at work, you already have a line ready. No need to search for words.
Okay, so you've joined the meeting, you've survived the small talk. Now it's time to actually say something that matters.
This is where I usually go back to my favorite phrase, "I think." I think this is good. I think this is bad. I think we should do this.
I think is not wrong, but if you only use that, you start to feel like your English has one button.
Exactly. One button English.
Let's add a few more buttons. Here are a few simple alternatives. From my point of view, the way I see it, from our side, in my experience.
Okay, so instead of I think it's a problem, I can say, from my point of view, it's a problem.
Yes, or the way I see it, this could be a problem next month.
And from our side sounds good when I speak for my team, right?
Exactly. For example, from our side, we'll need at least 2 more days.
That sounds very professional and still simple.
Let's imagine a real moment. I'll describe a situation and you try to answer using one of those phrases.
All right, let's try.
Situation 1. The team is discussing a new project deadline. Someone asks you, "What do you think about the date?"
I could say, the way I see it, the date is a bit too early for our team.
Perfect. Situation 2. Your manager asks for your honest opinion about a new idea.
I could say, from my point of view, the idea is great, but we need more people to make it work.
Exactly. You gave a clear opinion, but you still sounded respectful.
I like this kind of template. I don't have to invent English from zero in the meeting. I just plug my idea into the phrase.
Yes. Listener, that's the key. You prepare a few frames like, from my point of view, or the way I see it, and then you drop your ideas into them.
And nobody knows it's your secret fluency trick.
Exactly. So you can join the meeting confidently, you can handle the small talk, you can share your opinion with more than just I think, and you can disagree politely. There's one more big skill we need for meetings.
Let me guess, saying no without starting World War III.
Exactly. Disagreeing politely and asking for changes without sounding negative or aggressive.
Yeah, that's hard. In my head, I'm thinking, this idea is terrible, but my mouth just says, okay, fine.
Let's find a middle ground. You don't have to say, this is terrible. You also don't have to say, okay, fine. There is a professional way in the middle.
I'm listening very carefully now.
The basic structure is this. First, show that you listened, then share your concern. You can start with, I see your point, but, or, that's an interesting idea, my only concern is, or, I agree with part of that, but.
So it's like, step 1, I heard you. Step 2, here is my worry.
Exactly. Let's play a little scene. I'll give you a sentence, you answer using that structure.
Okay, I'm ready.
I think we should add 3 new features this month.
I see your point, but my only concern is that our team is already very busy.
Nice. Simple, polite, and very professional. One more. I think we don't need any extra testing for this release.
That's an interesting idea. My only concern is that we've had bugs in the last version.
Perfect. You didn't say, you're wrong. You said, I respect your idea, but here is a risk we should think about.
Yeah, that feels much more like a real colleague, less like a nervous student fighting the teacher.
Exactly. And listener, you can imagine your own sentences. I see your point, but my only concern is, and then add your real problem, the budget, the deadline, the team size.
You can even pause this episode later and write one real sentence you might need to say at work.
There is another situation where learners often freeze in meetings when they don't understand something.
Yes, sometimes someone is talking fast, using a lot of internal words, and I just sit there smiling and thinking, I have no idea what's happening.
And then you say yes at the end, and later you regret it.
Exactly.
So let's prepare some professional phrases for I didn't understand, but I want to understand.
Okay, I need these.
Here are a few. Sorry, could you say that again a bit more slowly? Could you please repeat the last part? Just to make sure I understand, you mean that, can I check that I got this right?
Those sound so much better than just what or repeat, please.
Exactly. Let's do a quick example. Imagine I say, we'll need to push back the release if the testing is not done by Thursday.
You can, just to make sure I understand, if testing is late, the release will move too?
That's good. I show I'm trying to follow, not just saying, huh?
Yes, and if the person speaks too fast, you can say, sorry, could you say that again a bit more slowly?
I like a bit more slowly. It sounds polite, not like a complaint.
Exactly. You're not blaming them. You're simply asking for help. Listener, this is important. Asking for clarification is professional. Pretending you understand everything is not.
Very true. Now, one more thing about meetings. How you close your part of the conversation.
What do you mean?
Often learners say something good and then end it with a weak, yeah, that's it, I don't know.
Guilty.
Instead, you can finish with a clear, simple line that shows you're done speaking.
For example?
Here are some options. That's the main point from my side. That's my view on it. That's all from me for now.
So after I share my idea, I can say, that's the main point from my side.
Yes. Let's put it all together with a mini example.
Okay, you go first.
Imagine we're in a meeting about deadlines. You say,
From my point of view, the current deadline is a bit too early for our team. I see your point, but my only concern is the testing time. That's the main point from my side.
that's excellent. You entered confidently, shared your opinion, disagreed politely, and closed your turn in a professional way.
And we didn't use a single complicated word.
Exactly. This is the kind of English that makes people trust you at work.
Okay, so we covered meetings and calls in a lot of detail. I think many listeners already have a few sentences they can steal.
Yes. In the next part, we should move to another huge part of professional life, emails and chat messages.
And maybe also how we think about ourselves when we speak English at work.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that next. All right, let's move from meetings to another place where your professional English really matters, emails and chat messages.
Yeah, the place where, hi bro, send me that thing doesn't really work.
Exactly. Let's start with emails because many learners still imagine emails like very long, very formal letters.
Dear sir or madam, I am writing to kindly inform you that I exist.
Yes, and on the other side, we have super casual messages with no structure at all. The sweet spot is in the middle, short, clear, and polite.
So what does a simple professional email look like?
Let's build one together. Imagine you want to send a report to your team. Here's a basic version. Hi team, here's the report for Friday. If you have any questions, please let me know. Best, Daniel.
That's it.
That's it. It does the job. It sounds normal, modern, and professional.
I like that there is no I am writing to you in order to. Just here it is. This is what to do if you have questions.
Exactly. Now let's do one more together, this time asking for something.
Okay.
Imagine you need the updated slides from a colleague. You might write, Hi Maria, could you please send me the updated slides by Thursday? Thank you for your help with this. Best, Daniel.
That feels very usable. No extra drama.
If you're listening, you can pause after this episode and literally copy these structures with your own names and dates.
Let's do one more. What about following up when someone didn't answer?
Good one. Here's a professional but polite follow-up. Hi, John. Just a quick follow-up on the report I sent last week. Could you please let me know your thoughts when you have a moment? Thanks a lot. Best, Daniel.
Just a quick follow-up. That's a nice soft way of saying, hey, remember this?
Exactly. It's a gentle reminder, not an attack. Now, let's talk about chat, because many teams use Slack, Teams, or other tools where messages are faster and shorter.
Yeah, and that's where people start writing like on Instagram.
In work chat, you can be shorter than an email, but you still want to sound professional. For example, Hi, do you have the latest version of the report? Could you send me the link when you have a moment? Thanks, that really helps.
So no need for big greetings like dear colleagues, but also no yo bro, gimme file.
Exactly. You can still say hi or hey, but keep the rest clear and respectful.
Let's imagine a small chat conversation. You be my colleague, I'll try to sound professional.
Okay. Hey, Daniel, do you have the numbers from last week?
Hi, I'm finishing them now. I'll send you the file in about 20 minutes. Perfect.
Short, clear, with a realistic time.
Listener, if you often write something like, wait, I will send later, maybe, you can upgrade it to, I'll send it in about 20 minutes.
Yes, your English doesn't need to be complex. It just needs to give people confidence that you know what you're doing.
I noticed something. In all these examples, we never said, sorry for my bad English.
Exactly. Let's talk about that, because this one sentence can quietly destroy your professional vibe.
Yeah, I used to start emails with, sorry for my English, it's not perfect. Or even in meetings, sorry for my bad English, I hope you understand me.
And the problem is, when you say that, you tell people to focus on your mistakes.
You basically ask them to judge you.
Exactly. Instead of that, focus on the message and on collaboration. You can say things like, if anything is not clear, please let me know. Let me know if I should explain that in a different way.
So I'm not apologizing for existing. I'm inviting them to ask questions.
Yes, that is much more professional. You sound like a person who wants to solve problems, not like a person who is afraid of every word.
Also, I like what you said earlier about speaking a bit slower.
Yes, let's stay on that for a moment. Many learners think professional equals speak very fast like native speakers in movies.
But in real life, clear, slightly slower speech is what people trust in meetings. When someone speaks a bit slower, I actually feel more calm listening to them.
Exactly. So if you're listening to this and feel pressure to talk fast, you can give yourself this permission. I'm going to speak slowly and clearly. That is professional.
Let's give the listener a tiny exercise. If you can, say this sentence out loud right now, but slowly. I'll keep it simple. Here's the main point.
Nice. You can use that line in real meetings too. Before you explain something, say, I'll keep it simple. Here's the main point.
I love that. It shows respect for people's time, and it also lowers your own stress.
Exactly. You don't promise perfect English, you promise a clear message.
I feel like we've covered a lot, but I know our listeners might think, okay, this sounds good, but how do I actually change the way I speak?
Good question. Let's make it very practical with a small action plan.
Yes, give us homework.
First, choose 3 phrases from this episode that you like and that feel natural in your mouth. For example, from my point of view, I see your point, but my only concern is, could you please send me? That's the main point from my side.
3 phrases, not 30.
Exactly. Second, write them down somewhere you'll see them, on a sticky note near your desk or in your Notes app on your phone.
Third, decide where you will use them. In your next team meeting, your next email, or your next chat message.
And fourth, after you use them once or twice, notice how people react. Most of the time, they will simply accept it as normal professional English.
Which it is.
Yes, you don't need hundreds of phrases to change the way people perceive you. Sometimes 3 or 4 good ones used again and again are enough to shift your image.
And over time, you can add new phrases to your professional toolkit.
Exactly. All right, let's gently wrap up today's episode.
Today, we talked about how to sound professional in English without trying to be super advanced or super formal.
We looked at meetings and calls, how to introduce yourself, how to handle small talk, how to share your opinion with more than I think, and how to disagree politely.
We also looked at emails and chat, how to write short, clear, polite messages that sound like real office English.
And we talked about mindset. No more sorry for my English at the start, a little slower speaking and focusing on clarity instead of perfection.
Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is simple. Pick 3 phrases from this episode and use them this week at work.
If you want extra practice, you can write one example sentence with each phrase in the comments under this video. It doesn't have to be perfect.
We really enjoy seeing your sentences. It shows that you're not just listening, you're actually using the language.
Thank you for spending this time with us today. We hope you feel a little more ready to bring your professional self into your English.
Take a deep breath, remember that simple English can be powerful, and go speak like the colleague you already are.
This was English Academy.
And we'll see you in the next episode.